Sergeant Jerry Boyle, cop shop.
Oh, was it a sheep or something? It was a lamb.
I mean, what would his parents think?
I've got some information about that murder last night.
What murder?
How many murders have you had in the last 24 hours?
That's for us to know and you to find out.
I mean, I think Jerry is primarily somebody who's quite bored and quite disillusioned and quite lonely, really, at the beginning. And so he's quite aggressive with people who come in professing to know everything or to be on top of their own situation, whereas in fact he knows actually what they know is nothing.
Now these men are highly dangerous, in the vicinity of $500 million worth of cocaine on board. Yes, Sergeant.
I thought only black lads were drug dealers and Mexicans.
Apologise to the man.
Apologise for what?
For your racist slurs, for one thing.
I'm Irish, sir. Racism is part of my culture.
When Wendell and Jerry meet in the story, you know, they're polar opposite, so they kind of conflict at first. But they need each other, and they obviously, you know, start to create a bond, a relationship. Can you talk a little bit about that relationship, where it goes in the film?
Well, I think, yeah, initially there's a bunch of mistrust. Who's this FBI agent from Big Shot coming over here trying to tell us how to run our business? And like, who are these local yokels who don't know anything about, you know, what we're doing or police work, or they don't even speak the language, you know. What happens immediately for them in these scenes is there's all the repartee and the barbs back and forth, but as soon as it becomes about the business, all that goes away and they just talk about what they're there to do. And that's where they see that they're very similar in their, you know, attention and their focus on really what they're there to do, their job, their gig, their smarts.
I think he's come to see that the law has been seriously compromised already, and that the people that he thought maybe that he was going to be butting heads with are not really the people, you know, it doesn't work out that way. He's finding there are little bits of corruption here, there are a little bit of kind of looking the other way there, and nobody's really confronting anything. So he becomes quite confrontational in his manner. And then on the other way, he's quite a curious individual. He wants to find out if it is really true that, you know, if you take drugs once, you're hooked for life. So he kind of takes some and finds out.
No, I can't tell if you're really dumb or really smart.
Your character, very much for you, it's like a fish out of water story. So did the backdrop of Ireland, did that really sort of help to kind of get the mood and the setting for the piece?
Absolutely. I mean, it was great to be able to do my work and show up there and be just like Wendell Everett was. I don't know who are these people, what are you saying, I don't know where I am, I don't know what's going on. You know, the difference is I had, you know, much more gracious hosts than he had, you know, with John and Brendan kind of taking us under their wing and just, you know, letting us know what we were into. So it was a great experience.
Well, yeah, I'm a big fan of all the Sergio Leone westerns from the 60s. And like even the sort of the 70s sort of downbeat melancholy ones from, you know, American cinema, like McCabe and Mrs. Miller, the Altman sort of stuff. And I just thought I wanted to put, we've never seen that kind of a character in that kind of a small town Irish environment where you're basically filming it as if he's in a western, you know. He's sort of the small town sheriff and the baddies are riding in to get him or whatever.
Pacing is so specific in the film and it sets the mood for the whole movie. Was that something that you sort of worked with John to kind of figure out, or did you know right away from reading the script where it was sort of going?
I think the script dictated all of that. The script read like, you know, it was a really fast clip, and the repartee was the banter was quick and back and forth, and you could hear the brogue and you can kind of hear the lilt in the language, and it was written with a very clear ear to that sort of poetry, that, you know, the Irish humor, the dark humor. It was just all right there, and it went by fast. And at the end of the script, I was smiling to myself, and I remember I called my partner up right away and said, "We got to do this. Figure it out right away. Let's figure it out."
I thought black people couldn't ski. Or is that swimming?